Yeah.
All right, let's rock and roll.
All right.
Good afternoon. It's Robert and Julia Miller with the J. Patel Group and Rethink Real Estate with another exciting real estate update.
Exciting, yes. 1st of December.
Yeah, episode number 103.
103, yeah. We're going to look at the Cromford Report, and then the feature question that we'll be focusing on when we get to rates is, should I tap into my home equity? We hit on it a little bit last week, but we got a great article from Melissa Vasilev with Bay Equity, so we wanted to wrap that up this week with some more questions and what she says about it.
Please like and subscribe, share us with your friends so we can continue to grow our viewership.
Right.
Regarding the Cromford Report, this go around, there wasn't a lot of earth-shattering, so we'll just do bullet points of some of the highlights that were discussed.
Yeah, we're just getting into December. We're only 5 days in. Yesterday we were 5 days into December, so there's not a whole lot right now, and November numbers are still kind of wrapping up. So yeah, we've got some updates, but nothing like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So.
All right, you got a joke for us?
I do. Just kind of, words of advice again a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, I always like those.
Please don't pick on older children who believe in Santa.
Why not?
There are grown adults who still believe in Zillow is accurate. I stumbled on that because I feel like I'm picking on Zillow a little bit. The Zestimates, if you've looked at those lately, are wacky, just because the market has changed so quickly.
Yeah.
Their algorithm, their mathematical equation is just like, what do we do with this information? So, yeah. Just a little fun. How about you?
So Daffy Duck and Elmer Fudd break into a distillery.
Oh, okay.
Daffy turns to Elmer and says, "Is this whiskey?" Elmer says, "Yes, but not as whiskey as robbing a bank."
They both have a lisp. Is this whiskey? Yeah. Anyway.
All right, moving on. A little bit of history. I grabbed the wrong paper here.
Oh, okay.
A little history for this week.
The week of December 1st?
Yes.
The first week of December.
1993, on December 9th, astronauts complete repairs to the Hubble telescope.
Ah.
That was a bad day. They said, okay, turn it on. It needs glasses. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was all fuzzy. There was a big blur in the middle of the screen, in the middle of the lens and stuff, so they had to go up.
I understand correctly, that's exactly what they did. They basically put glasses on the Hubble.
Yeah.
And then it was perfect. 1975, Dianne Feinstein becomes San Francisco's first woman mayor.
Ah, all right.
December 4th.
All right, Dianne Feinstein.
1944, the day that will go down in infamy. December 7th, Japanese warplanes attack U.S. naval vessels at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii.
That's right, it's Pearl Harbor Day, and my brother's birthday. He was born on Pearl Harbor Day. Happy birthday, Wayne.
1884, after 30 years, Army engineers complete the Washington Monument on December 6th.
So cool.
We had the good fortune to get to see the Washington Monument before they shut it down.
Yeah.
For some pretty major repairs.
I'm trying to come up with the year. I think it was 2018.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah.
It's in that range.
Our grandbaby Scarlett was not very old then. I think she was less than a year old.
Mm-hmm.
And she was born in 2017. So, yeah, I think that's about right.
1865, the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution outlawing slavery is ratified December 6th.
It took so daggone long for anything to actually... you look at 1865 and you're like, oh, yeah, we were making great strides. Then, no, it was in the 1950s when segregation actually became illegal and,
Oh yeah, it's been
Nixon's
a
are
long process, and it'll probably continue, to improve,
oh my
hopefully.
gosh. Yes.
Okay, moving on. 1876, D.C. Stilson patents the first practical pipe wrench, the Stilson wrench.
And I think I've heard of that. I don't know where I've heard of it from. You probably told me about it, or
I think it's
we've
still
talked
around.
about it or
I can't say
something.
for sure, but I think it's still a brand.
still a
pipe
brand.
wrench.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Finally, 1735, on December 6th, French surgeon Claudius Amiand performs the first appendectomy. That's
On
amazing.
himself?
1735. No, that was
There is somebody that has done an appendectomy on
that
himself.
was the doctor who was demonstrating
Local.
local
Anesthesia.
anesthesia, and he actually did his own appendectomy with local anesthesia.
Hang on, I got it. Just let me. I can't even imagine.
I
That's
can't
just,
either, but
oh my
that's
gosh.
one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
All right, moving on to
All
a
right.
little bit of news. Keep grabbing the
You
wrong
got too many
paper.
papers.
I got too
Look at all
many
this.
papers today. Housing
What's going on?
news. Prices slide. Home prices fell by 1% in September, marking the first time they dropped in 3 straight months since 2019. Due to low inventory, home prices are still rising on an annual basis, up 6.6% in October from a year ago. So we're still hovering at appreciation rate of 6.6, but we expect November and December to be negative as well. So it's going to
Yeah.
drive that 6.6 average probably
Average,
under
yeah.
5. I'll make
Yeah.
a prediction.
Yeah.
Okay, but buyer enthusiasm is at the lowest level since 2011, and many economists predict yearly price declines in 2023, and we're going to get into that a little
Bom, bom,
bit
bom.
with the Cromford Report.
With the
as
Cromford
well.
Report, yeah.
Um,
Buyers don't want to buy.
yeah, prices still high. In a recent poll, analysts expected home prices to continue to drop by a median prediction of 12% by the end of 2023, down from a June 2022 peak. So we got a couple different perspectives and
Different
predictions on
perspectives.
that. We think
Well, and this
May
is-
was the peak, and they have June.
Yeah. Well, this is national. Keep in mind.
That's true.
And we-
Yeah, and we're comparing it to Valley.
Yeah.
Okay. Economic news. Core inflation cools. The core personal consumption expenditures,
CPE.
thank you, index for October rose 0.2%, lower than September's rise of 0.5%. So we are seeing some results from the Fed's activity to try to cool inflation.
I've got some more on the PCE as
Okay.
well here. So,
GDP,
gross domestic product.
thank you. Jobs buck hikes. That's the headline there. Despite the Fed's aggressive efforts to cool the economy, third quarter U.S. GDP rose 2.9%,
Still rising.
reversing contractions the last 2 quarters. Meanwhile, November non-farm employee numbers jumped by
Right.
263%. Or I'm sorry, 263,000 jobs,
right.
led by leisure and hospitality, with
People are still taking
88,000.
vacations.
Yep, exactly. Average hourly increases jumped 0.6% for the month and 5.1% annually. So
Wow.
we're closing that gap between the hourly rate increase and the rate of inflation. It's getting narrower.
Okay, and that's a good thing, right?
That's a good thing.
Okay.
This is interesting. Black Friday rocks records. A record 196.7 million shopped in person and online between Thanksgiving Day to Cyber Monday, spending an average of $325.
Ours is less than that.
Hey, that's up from $306 per person last year.
Okay.
Drawn by deals and promotions, Black Friday shoppers spent an estimated $9.12 billion. Cyber Monday was higher. Their sales were at $11.3 billion.
Yeah, I think Black Friday, you still get a lot of people, hanging with family. They're doing a late Thanksgiving, so they just don't shop as much as they do Cyber Monday. So
Yeah.
I know I shopped on Cyber Monday.
Regulatory news, as we talked about last week, they made it official. The Federal Housing Finance Agency announced last week the conforming loan rate, CLL.
Wait, FHFA.
Oh.
Federal
yeah.
Housing Finance Agency.
I guess I stole your thunder on CLL.
CLL,
Conforming
loan
loan
limits.
limits.
Okay, well, I don't know that one yet, so.
Okay. For mortgages acquired by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac in 2023 will increase to $726,200 in most of the United States. High-cost areas, specifically California and New York, the limit will be $1,089,300.
Woo! You can buy a lot of house with that bank.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to, let's see, a little bit of the Cromford Report, right?
Yeah. Now, Robert and I both have notes on it, so we'll just kind of bounce back and forth between the
go
highlights
back and forth on this.
things that we thought kind of stood out to us.
Rates are the driving force in the market. We've kind of been going over that, and that seems to be what's controlling everything in the housing market right now.
Yeah.
Arizona unemployment is at 3.9%, and that is actually a slight tick up.
Yeah, we were at 3.2%, which is better than the average, better than the national average. So our unemployment rate is still better than the national average. To back up, though, the PCE, Tina's note on the PCE, the
Personal Consumer Expenditures.
Expenditure index.
Right.
So if it remains between 124 and 125, which is what it is now, we'll reach that 2%, that coveted 2% of inflation rate by March or May. Now, if you remember, a month and a half ago, we were saying February, March. We were hopeful for February, March. Now it's kind of slid a little bit further because, again, the unemployment rate is still low. Believe it or not, that has to increase.
Gross domestic product went up. So,
gross domestic product went up. So we still have some things that aren't quite in line with what they want.
Right. Pre-foreclosures are still very, very low. They are just a blip on the bottom of the chart.
Yep.
Housing credit availability is actually tightening. We're getting, in the media, we're getting some confused information. It's getting reported that the rate buy down is some form of a subprime arm.
Right, and it is not.
Doesn't have anything to do with that, and it's certainly not subprime in any way.
Right.
You're simply buying points. You're buying down the loan.
Right.
And getting a lower rate.
Yeah, buying down your interest rate, basically, is what you're doing. I will back up just a half step here. Accepted contracts. I think that might be a little bit further, though.
Yeah, I think we talk about accepted contracts in a little bit.
Okay, we'll come back to that then.
Okay, something to watch in legislation. There's a Stop Wall Street Landlords Act of 2022. And the reason for this, to try to bump up owner occupancy, the rate has dropped to 62%, and they really want it in the mid-70s.
Yeah, they want it in the 70s.
So there's a big concern about just too many vast entire communities that are 75% rental properties.
Yeah, now I will say, however, Arizona is not that. Our regional MLS is at 74%.
Oh, we're healthy. That's where they want it at.
Occupancy, yeah.
Okay,
We only have 7.8 as second home, 16% investor, and 1.7 as iBuyer currently owned.
Something we've been watching pretty close, the internet buyers. So this would be, well, it was your Zillow. They've dropped out. Redfin, Open Door, OfferPad. They have dropped considerably their purchases. At one point, about the middle of the year, institutional buyers, these are iBuyers that actually buy the home and hold it and lease it out. Those were buying 30% of what the internet buyers were offering, so they were really gobbling those
Yeah,
up.
they were kind of, the iBuyer would buy it from the consumer, from the seller, and then the institutional buyer's like, oh, I'll take that. That's rental property. That's my stock,
Right, and appreciation, they hold it for appreciation
Yeah,
as
they
well.
do. Mm-hmm.
So looking a little closer specifically at one of the internet buyers, Open Door,
Open Door,
they have a massive discrepancy between what's under contract, 281 units, versus their inventory
yeah.
of 1432. Wow.
Not that this is a concern for, the consumer necessarily, but it just kind of shows what they've been through over this year.
Right. Well, they equate that to almost $1 billion loss.
Yeah.
And
their inventory is at 1,432, and under contract they only have 281.
Right. That's
so they're going to take a while getting through that inventory.
Right. There's a lot of holding cost, and if you're not moving them, you have to lower the price, and boy, they go into the red pretty quick.
They're getting hurt a little bad on some of them.
Yeah. This was thrown out at the Zoom meeting that OfferPad is actually getting delisted from the stock market, so they must really be hurting as bad as Open Door.
It was more than one person that spoke up and said that. We haven't looked into the story behind it or what it is, but there's some validity to it. If more than one person said, I heard that.
I think we're safe to say the internet buyers are suffering.
Yeah, that's the bottom line there.
Right. Okay, we've talked quite a bit about this, rentals, but the MLS rental supply has tripled year over year.
Yeah, 192%.
Wow.
Whew.
So we're definitely seeing downward pressure on rental rates.
Yeah. 57% of all landlords have had to reduce their list price.
Right, so over
just
half.
to get a contract.
Yeah, and that doesn't count what gets negotiated either.
No.
Right. Short-term rentals, again, this is something that you got to keep an eye on because there are regulations are coming. An example is Scottsdale. By January 8th of 2023, all VRBOs must be licensing will be required.
Yeah, and it's most likely that Mesa and Peoria, those are two other areas that are big on short-term rentals. And the reason being, honestly, is our spring training. A lot of people come out for spring training.
For spring training,
so people will come in for a week and watch their team spring train, and then that's all they want is a week rental. Well, that's short-term rental. If you do 3-month rental, that's usually okay. It doesn't. It
varies by HOA, but most of the time that's
the
minimum is 90 days.
But it's assumed that Mesa and Peoria will be following suit and carrying through with that licensing as well. You ready for accepted contracts numbers yet?
Yeah, most of the valley is balanced. We are in the cold out here in Vistancia, but we are pretty much across the board balanced.
Yeah, we are down 32.4% from August of this year, which is kind of where we mark as like the peak for contracts. So that's what I had on that.
Okay. This is at this point considered a mild buyer's market. So we do not expect to see a price plummet, but we do expect to see some reduction in prices.
Well, and what's helped us stay a little more balanced and not fall deeper into a buyer's market is our inventory hasn't risen.
Right.
Our inventory still is low, and it usually is this time of year.
Right.
So we'll see what January brings on that note. We could slip into more of a buyer's market, but right now we're pretty balanced.
That'll be the key. January we should get a big bump up of new inventory.
Yeah,
so we'll see
especially here in Peoria.
Right. We'll see how that affects things.
Yeah.
Days on market still 46, so it's that's pretty average for this time of year.
For this time of year, yeah, it came up a little bit. I think in November we expected it to come up more in December.
It was 55,
it
but
hasn't yet, so that's okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
something for sellers to keep in mind, you can expect, or buyers too, for that matter, if you're considering jumping into the market in January,
Yeah.
expect a lot of price reductions of the old listings.
Yeah, old
Just
listings.
alluded to that we should see a big push of new listings coming in January.
Right.
So in order to compete, those old listings are going to have to do price reductions. So
Yeah.
be aware that you should see that in Q1, and that's just the new listing competition.
Yeah, I've got 14% of active listings had a price reduction last week. The median price reduction was $10,000.
Okay.
So, and then are you going to talk about concessions? You got
No,
concessions?
go ahead. I don't have anything on concessions.
48.7% of listings closed had concessions. This is only so far this month. Again, there's only five days stats here, but just goes to show you that instead of reducing prices, a lot of, or 50% of sellers are saying, well, what if we throw in some concessions of whatever, whatever
Contribution towards
color.
closing costs, buy down your rate.
Yeah.
There's a number of things you can do to entice a buyer instead of
Right.
just lowering your price.
And then again, we do come back to the negative appreciation.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
expect, from the Cromford Report, they expect to see negative appreciation for the rest of this year and the next 4 or 5 months. The other report said all of 2023. So we'll see
Yeah, we'll see.
whether that is national or specific to the valley here. If we're going to be a little better, a little ahead of the
Right.
curve. I
Don't shoot
hope
the
so.
messenger.
Yeah. It is what it is.
But one thing to high note to end on is long-term appreciation is still 30 to 80%.
That's right. If you've held your
So-
home for 2 or 3 years,
Over 2 years, that's considered long-term here in the valley.
right? I
anyway.
think 5
You
years
know?
is like 85%
Yeah, it's
appreciation.
very good.
So
Yeah, we
still
showed-
have.
We showed those statistics last week as we went over the stat report, and those are really good numbers to look at. But yeah,
Yep.
all right.
Okay, if you're considering tapping into your home's equity, here's a little information you
Little
might want
cash.
to think about. She's had several clients reach out to her about tapping into their home's equity,
Okay.
and many of these clients have low interest rates on their current mortgage.
So they don't want to refinance.
So they're seeking a second mortgage, such as a
Right.
home equity line of credit.
Right. HELOC.
Thank you. Or fixed rate second mortgage. These are
Okay.
great options for clients with large amounts of equity in their home, only need to tap into a small amount of equity, and have excellent credit scores. Because second mortgages are in second lien position, their risk is deemed higher.
Right.
So they carry a higher interest rate and or revolving rates that can continue to climb with the Fed's interest rate increases, and we know
So
they're going to.
that's kind of the negative part of
Right.
it. Yeah.
So, if you are needing a larger amount of equity for debt consolidation, home improvement, etc., although the interest rates have climbed since last year, it may be a good idea to visit a first mortgage refinance, as rates just dropped almost
Okay.
0.75% after the midterm elections.
So
Often,
they may be higher than what I currently have, but not as bad as the second home mortgage.
right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'll definitely be way better than a HELOC.
HELOC. Okay.
Oftentimes, even though the rate may be higher than your current interest rate, it is better to have a good rate on a large amount of cash out versus the risk and higher interest rate of a second mortgage.
Okay.
So you got to weigh both
there's-
sides
yeah.
of that. Another benefit is that with rising Fed rates, credit card rates have spiked.
Oof.
So a low mortgage rate to pay off the higher interest rates may give you that breathing room of extra disposable income.
I don't know if you've ever seen this. I'm going to derail just for a second here. The credit card companies now put on the credit card statements, if you carry this balance forward and only pay your minimum payment, here's what it will actually, what this debt will actually end up costing you.
That's legislation that was put in
Woo!
that they I think they by law have
I think
to
they
do
do
that
too,
now.
because I don't
That
think they
isn't
would do
voluntary.
it if somebody didn't make them.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that, if you look at that on the back of your credit card, I mean, it's way back there. You got to look. It's like terms and conditions, and then they put that in there. But yeah, wow.
All right, continuing with rates, they were mixed, but two were lower. One was just slightly higher. The 30-year ticked down. It's now at 6.541.
Okay.
The 15-year actually ticked up just slightly. It's at 5.893, still under 6. And a VA dropped the most. That's down to 6.270.
Oh, okay.
Love to see that one get
Yeah.
into the fives again.
Yeah.
As expected, Valley inventory continues to drop. We're now under 19,000. We're at
Wow.
18,683.
Okay.
Peoria was flat. We're at 643, and Surprise ticked down by about 40. They're at 859.
Okay.
Oh, my page is getting wet.
Uh-oh.
Closer to home, Trilogy at Estancia ticked down. We have 40 homes available right now.
Okay.
Price range $495,000 is the most affordable. $1,430,000 is the most expensive. Estancia Village actually ticked up too. They're at 55. $346,000 is the most affordable. $1,056,669 and
Is that a David Weekly up in
the
North-
top
North-
David Weekly has like the top 5
Okay.
ranging from 995,000 to this one. So
David
these are all
Weekly-
new construction.
Yeah.
Blackstone Country Club remains at 12, 575,000, the most affordable. 2,790,000 still tops the list.
Yeah.
Portobello remain flat. They're at 33, 448,000, the most affordable. 929,900 is the most expensive.
Okay.
Sun City Grand remains at 111.
Wow.
284,900 is the most affordable. 999,900 is the most expensive.
Yes.
So they don't have any $1 million listings over there anymore.
Not currently, yeah.
Not currently, yeah. Sun City West is dropping down as expected. They're down to 175. 205,000 the most affordable. 869,000 continues to top the list.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, Westbrook Village ticked up too. They're at 42. 285,000 the most affordable. 560,000 the most
Okay.
expensive. Trilogy at Estancia sold in the last 30 days is 7 homes.
That went up a little.
Yep, went up 2. And Trilogy at Estancia under contract is at 16, so that's
Okay.
up 2 as well.
Yeah.
Vistancia Village sold last 30 days 9 homes, and Vistancia Village under contract 10 homes. Several of those under contract, though I think over half of them are new construction. So
And of the 9 sold, I think there was 3?
3 of them were new construction.
Were new construction.
So you got
Which
to
was,
kind of take
it was
that
eye-opening
into
to me,
account.
and maybe it shouldn't have been, but one thing that I thought about maybe for next week was, if people are considering tapping into their home equity, if those, not refinances, but second home line of credit, if those are really on the increase, maybe we should talk about what you should do to your home, or what you should think about doing to your home when you're thinking about remodeling, where you're going to get the most bang for your buck.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah, that's always a fun exercise.
yeah, that's a fun
Okay.
one. Yeah. So.
All right, that's our report for this week. Everybody have a blessed rest of the week, and we will see you again next week.
See you